Good morning, everyone. Eva Medilek here, and I hope that you had a good night's sleep last night and that you are refreshed and energized to tackle everything that you need to tackle today. So, what I want to talk to you about today is the importance of making sleep a priority in your life. Now, I don't know about you, but I never knew how important getting good quality sleep was for me to be able to function at my best, be healthy, have a strong immune system, have a great memory, be able to think on my feet and be creative. Growing up, as a kid, as a teenager, we could never get enough sleep, right? But, in that age group of 20 and 30, we kind of feel invincible and we don't need a lot of sleep. We can party till late at night and function on 3, 4, 5, 6 hours sleep and still get up and go to work or go to school. And, but for those of us who, let me say, are over 40 and above, it gets harder to be our best and to show up as our best when we don't get a good night's sleep and we don't prioritize and really realize the importance of sleep in our lives. So, this is for you if you are that person that feels that you can function on 4 to 6 hours of sleep per night. You feel that this doesn't affect you at all and that you don't need sleep. You are such a high achiever and such a driven person that sleep is not necessary for you, and sleep is getting in the way of everything that you want to do. Let me tell you something. I was listening to a podcast, Mel Robbins' podcast today, and she had a sleep expert on, Dr. Gina Poe, Poe. So if you listen to podcasts, I would look that one up. It was very informative and it just really highlighted some of the things that I already knew and already studied about the importance of sleep. And so, number one, sleep is important for your body to function and be optimized at its best, right? My Facebook group is called Optimize Your Habits. And so one of the habits that we need to optimize to be a high performer is sleep. There are certain things that sleep does for us that we cannot accomplish while we are awake. That is cleaning out junk from our brain, strengthening our immune system, helping us deal with stress and anxiety. I know that last year I actually was feeling anxious a lot. I don't know if it was fearful, anxiety, or whatever, but I would go to bed feeling anxious and I would wake up feeling anxious. And I had to really look at my life and look at what I needed to remove from my life and also what I needed to do more of in my life so that my nervous system would not feel so kind of, on edge, edgy, anxious, nervous, worried, whatever you call it. So if you feel that, you have some anxiety or nervousness or fear just facing the day and everything you have to face, I want you to look at your sleep patterns and look at how much sleep you're getting per night, the quality of sleep you're getting per night. Is it a restful sleep? Is it something that, do you go to bed with so many things on your mind that you can't get a good night's sleep? Are you eating foods properly so that it supports good sleep? And so there are certain things that you can do in life to ensure that your sleep is prioritized. And so I just want to share a couple of those with you. You can do your own research on the benefits of prioritizing sleep and getting good quality sleep and our circadian rhythms and the sleep cycles that we go through and how we can make sure that we are getting the right amount of sleep for our bodies and making sure that our sleep cycles go through what they need to so that it is best for our health and our well-being and our immune system and our memory and um, just our peace of mind and calming down the anxiety and giving us the energy that we need to show up as our best and on our A game every single day of our lives. I mean, we notice like a lot of these major accidents that might happen with trains or buses or planes actually are because the operator of those vehicles, if you will, might have been sleep deprived, might not have had good sleep, might have fallen asleep at the wheel. Even car accidents, a lot of those happen because people are tired and they fall asleep at the wheel, or they just are not alert to see, um, you know, who's coming at us where. We're just, our senses are not performing at our best. So, how can you set yourself up to win the sleep game, but also to realize how important sleep is in your life? So, one of the things that you could do, like I said, is do your own research on how important it is to get sleep and the benefits sleep has for you to be able to show up on your A game at home, at work, in your communities. I always say that. But how do we get a good night's sleep? Well, first of all, we've got to kind of wind down from our day, right? It's not like you're working on your computer till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then you try to go to bed and expect to get a good night's sleep. That's going to happen. If this is you, just tell me in the comments. If you're a person, especially, my entrepreneurs, my CEOs, my people who have leadership positions, you know, what are you doing up until the last minute before you go to bed? So I want to give you a formula that I know works for me, that a lot of coaches say work for them, and a lot of the experts say works for them as well, works for our body, works for our brain to begin to power it down. Because sleep, the primary function of sleep is our brain health, which actually affects the rest of our health as well. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to go into old age with brain problems, memory problems, cognitive problems. I want to kind of be a healthy old person and just die because I'm done. My body's tired, it's worn out, and heart has been beating the amount of beats that it was set to be, and it's over. The cognitive decline is something for me personally that I do not want to experience. So, what do you need to do to get a good night's sleep? Well, I have a 3-2-1 rule where no food 3 hours before bed. So, if you have a goal to sleep, let's just say 7 to 9 hours, we'll do the magic number of 8. If you want to wake up at 6, so think of the time of day you want to wake up, right? If you want to wake up 6, you need to be asleep by 10, right? Not just go to bed by 10, but be asleep at 10, right? Which means that if there's no food 3 hours before you go to sleep, you need to be done eating by 7 p.m. that night. So you just got to do some reverse engineering of the math. No work 2 hours before bed, because if you're working on a brief or a draft or something for work and a project, it requires brain power, right? It requires stimulating your brain. So we need to kind of get our brain prepared to have a good night's sleep. And having so much worry or information swirling around in our head is not going to induce a good night's sleep. We're going to be worrying in our sleep. It's going to keep us up at night. We're going to wake up with thoughts and things going on. So you want to stop working 2 hours before you want to go to sleep to give your body and your brain a chance to rest. And then no screens. So we're hearing a lot about the blue light from screens. Like my glasses are blue light blockers, so I don't really get on my computer without blue light blockers. But I also am, not seeing very well at this age, so they're also my prescription as well. But there are a lot of research that shows that it messes with the rhythm in our brains all of the light that's emitted from our devices, whether it's a phone, the TV, the computer, all of that light coming at us. So you want to make sure that you have none of those screens messing up your brain waves at least an hour before you want to be asleep. So what does that mean? Well, Eva, I like to read on my Kindle, or I like to read the news on my phone before I go to bed. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but there's certain settings you can put on your phone so that the blue light is not emitted. And you can wear if you don't need glasses, like I need glasses, but you can get glasses that actually filter out that light as well. Or you can do like I love to do. I love to read nonsense before bed. Nonsense meaning, I don't read a lot of fiction, but if I just finished my first fiction novel in years. But that's something to help you wind down. It wasn't the best one to read because it was kind of a murder mystery, but magazines, entertainment, recipes, something that doesn't require your brain to work and store knowledge, remember knowledge. Like, give your brain a break and a chance to relax and slow down so that you can get the best sleep possible. The other thing is light. Besides the blue light, when you finally lights out, all of our devices that are in our bedrooms are emitting light. Maybe it's the charger from your phone. If you have a TV in the bedroom, there's always some kind of light. There's clocks, there's blah, blah, blah. There's all kinds of light. You want to make sure that you're sleeping in a dark room. A lot of people wear the eye patch. For me, I don't like it. It just feels something on my face, and I have a tender head, and will get a migraine if I feel too much pressure on my head. So what do you need to do to make sure that all of these little things that are plugged in are not emitting light? There's this thing called gaffer's tape or black masking tape, where you can just tape over the little light things so that you're not seeing them come at you. So it's not like you have to unplug everything, but just make sure the light isn't disturbing you, because apparently our body is designed in its own clock that when the first light hits our eyes, that's a signal to our body that our day is starting and that we need to be awake and on to tackle the day. So getting light first thing in the morning when you wake up is another thing that helps our body rhythm so that we get in our wake sleep cycles in a healthy way. So whether even if it's a cloudy day, just getting outside, getting some natural light is very, very healthy for us. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Some people either take a warm bath or a warm shower before bed to kind of, I think it helps regulate our body temperatures so that, warm hands and warm feet actually helps kind of our core stay cool, if you will. I'm not a bath person. And because when I wake and because I wake up and immediately go for a walk or work out or something, I don't do a lot in the water department except the face before going to bed. But what I do have on my bed, this is a brilliant hack, is I have my mattress cover is a bed warmer. And so we have dual controls. My husband can set his temperature. I can set mine. I preheat my bed before I get in it. So as I'm doing my kind of wind down, once I get in bed and I'm reading and trying to get my brain to relax, I'm in a nice, warm, cozy bed. And that just helps regulate the temperature of my body. And then before long, within 10 to 15 minutes, I'm pretty much out cold and out for the night. And so what works for you? I'm curious, when you listen to this, what helps you actually get a good night's sleep? Of course, you don't want to have any caffeine or alcohol too close to bedtime, because we know that can disturb our sleep cycles. But how do you set yourself up to win the sleep game so that the sleep that you're getting is actually resetting, restoring you? And when you wake up and you are ready to tackle your day, do your work, do your job, serve your customers and your clients and your team, you are at the absolute best that you could possibly be in your brain health and in your physical body as well. Because we all know how cranky people can get when they're tired. I'm sure you've all experienced the short temper, the brain fog, the brain can't think, all of that. But you're responsible for you. You're responsible for your reactions. And when you are exhausted and tired and haven't gotten a good night's sleep, you might be reacting to things that you could respond to calmly, but have a more visceral, if you will, reaction to them. So think about what not getting enough sleep can do for you. I was talking with a client last night, a former client, and I was asking him, during our time, we worked together for about a year, working together. What has been something that really stood out for you in our coaching relationship? And the first thing he said to me was the importance of sleep. He was, putzing around till 11:30, midnight, doing things and working on projects and not getting enough sleep and still having to get up and go to work. And he just saw how much more productive and effective he is in his life now that he winds down his sleep and is in bed by 9, 10 o'clock and sleeping and still getting up early because you got a good 8 hours sleep to do what he needs to do in the morning. And that's where exercise can, those of you who claim you don't have time, there's not enough time for you to exercise. Look at what you're doing with time that isn't productive that you can allocate towards moving your body so that helps you get a better night's sleep, because studies have shown that body movement, getting some exercise is the number one key to longevity in our lives and living a healthy life. So do you have to run a marathon every morning? No. But I go out for a 30, 40-minute walk every morning because that just moves my body. It helps me clear my brain and it gets me the light that I need so that my body knows the day is here. We're starting. We're ready to kick butt and take names. Anyway, hope that was helpful. If it was, please share this with people that do not fully understand the importance of getting a good night's sleep. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel, evamedilek.com/YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, great. If you're watching this on any other of my platforms, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll know and you can go back and watch any of the topics that might help you live a more optimized life and to be able to optimize your habits. And as a bonus, if you want to know more energy generating habits to support your success, go to evamedilek.com/energy to get your free download of 6 energy generating habits that you can incorporate in your life so that you have more energy and stamina mentally, emotionally, and physically to slay the day. All right, everyone, have an amazing day, and I will be back next week.